Agent mapping. The purpose of agent file server mapping in ITAM is to reduce the load on the ITAM server. So if an agent requires a download of a patch, it can be taken care of by a file server instead of queuing the task in the ITAM server. Each master agent reports to a server, which is known as the reporting server. We have slave agents that report to a master agent, and standalone agents are not associated with any master. After installation, we can map a slave to a master or a standalone to a master also. The point being is our master agent can spread the load and our slave agents can actually do the work. To do this, we navigate to Settings, Asset and Inventory Management, Node Rules Engine, and from there, Agent and Agent Details. We select the agent to view. You'll notice in the agent column there will be an M for master and an A for agent. We click on the master agent or the standalone agent and we associate it to the slave that we want to associate. So I might have one master which will have 12 slaves connecting to it. That can be quite time consuming. So we also have the ability to write rules. So within agent mapping rule, we can define a rule to automatically map to a master agent. To do that, we're in Settings, we go to the master agent mapping rule, we click on Add, and we add in the rule that we wish to use. We have to decide on a regular expression, which will be discussed in the wiki, and there's rules we can write to get the right information. We're going to talk about agent mapping. To do this, Settings, we navigate down to Node Rules Engine. You'll notice it brings up Agent and Dedicated Server. We have Dashboard, Agent Details, and Master Agent Mapping Rule, which were both talked about in the slide. Dashboard is for show, so I'm going to click on Agent Details. It will then display all of the agents it has found. Now, as part of what we want to do here, we want to make one of these laptops a master and one of the laptops a slave. So I'm going to click on the device that's currently up, which is this laptop 03382, and I'm going to select it. Upon selection, it gives me an option to search to find more machines. So if I click on advanced search, I can look for categories and organizations and domains, etc. With my limited database, it's found me one other laptop for the moment. So what I'm going to do is I want to make this one the slave to the master of the one I selected a few moments ago. And to do that, I click on Associate. Upon completion, I can now see that my laptop is a master. I have master and standalone, which I'm looking at the minute. If I click on slave, I should be able to see all of the slaves that I have in my system. And there is my slave that I just set. To do this manually is going to be a lot of work. So what we have the ability to do is to create master agent mapping rules. So if I click on that option, it brings up the option to add, edit, delete rules. So if I click on add, I'm able to write a rule to find what I want to map my master to my client. So my rule will be AC test for today. The master agent will be the one I've created earlier, and I can determine based on the filter of organizational unit, host name, IP, a range of IP, or a gateway IP, I can determine the rule and the expression that I want to look for based on the rule. So I'm going to just go very simply today with an IP. I could go with a range. There actually is in the wiki a regular expression helps. You can identify how to write these expressions. For today, I'm going to just find one machine, 10.0.16.53. Now, as an example, I don't even know if it exists. I'll click on test. Please enter any value to check against given regular expression. So again, let's just put the same information like the input successfully matches. So I could save that, and I've now written a mapping rule. So when I find that IP address, it will map as a slave to the master of the original laptop. Upon completion, it's saved, and my master agent mapping rule has been applied. Having applied it, I don't want to do this as the example, so I'm going to select it and I'm going to delete it. Yes, I want to deassociate the slaves. I click on delete and that rule will now be disabled. Having done what we've just done with agent, we could do exactly the same thing with a server in the same way, and the same options are available. Let's just view that. So you can see very, very similar options. I don't plan to go through this. You've seen it work with the agent.